Hello everyone and welcome back to another session of Paint Along with Fred using Paintology. So here we have an overlaid drawing which is different to a trace drawing. So if you load this tutorial you will see this image appear on the canvas. The difference between that and the trace is that we don't have the trace bar and you can work directly on the canvas while you see the image on the left corner, top left corner. So as you can see, this image that you see here, the reference image, is directly aligned to your canvas, so which means that you'll be able to draw directly and not use the trace bar to go back and forth. So it's slightly different, but again the whole idea is to improve one's drawing skills. So the image I've got loaded here is an actual pencil sketch, as you can see, but we could pretty much do the same thing on the digital tablet here that I have in front of me. So let's fire away and get started. So first of all, it's a good idea to find a brush tool that you can work with. So we have a choice here, as you can see. I haven't used industry for a long time. We might want to try that and see how that works. Let's have a look. See if that gives a reasonable, and take out the red color. We don't want that. Let's go for a darker all the way. That's not too bad. So maybe a little thinner. Okay, I'm just going back on that. So maybe a little thinner. Okay, it's not too bad, although I personally prefer it a little bit thinner if I can. Just yes, I think that's okay, but I think I'll probably increase that once I go into shading. So again, it's the shape. Let's create the shape of the apple. Okay. Don't worry about being an exact match. And okay, we are familiar with what an apple looks like. Here's the stem, and then here's the leaf. And again, we have complete control over. Okay, so I think that looks good. And now here comes the interesting part. So now I'm going to increase the, notice I've got the density and hardness like 2/3 of the way up. I'm going to increase the size a tad more, and you'll see that definitely has some substance to this. So again, I'm working on the left side because we know that there are darker shadows going there. Okay. So I'm working with the stylus here, and with the stylus you do have a degree of control. Around here where we know that the apple has, a dark shade to it. Stem, and then let's do a leaf there. Okay, so now we can be a little bit clever and go for wider swatches of the actual shading. So let's increase it a little bit more, lower the density, and let's see what happens. Okay, you can see it big, a lot thicker, and so again it's too dark in my opinion, so I'm going to go up in the shading in the gray tone and see what that looks good. So again, see here you have a degree of control. It's just a matter of knowing where that control is, where you have to So again, I can go further down density and hardness to actually even get lesser, but then you can see the tones. You see the tone value here is so much lower. So that gives it the more dimension that we're actually looking for. So again, so let's keep going, and then we can perhaps go and increase the density to do the edges. They're dark there, but then again it's too light. You see the gray tone is too light, so again we can reduce and go a bit more detail on the left side where it's a little bit more darker. Okay, and then okay, you can see it's building up. And then again, so I'm more playing with the tonal values as opposed to the changing the depth, darkness, changing the density and hardness so much. But again, it's all for you to play with and find out what works for you. Okay, so there. Okay, so now we can actually, now you can see this image surprisingly has dark edge contour around this, and that's what we'll do at the end. So before we do that, let me do the shadows around the apple. So we got, yep, you can continue using this. Okay, and then we know it gets darker there, so deliberately going over that to give that dark patch to that. Okay, and then here you'll notice in the middle there's actually a darker patch to that. Okay, so I think we're okay. So I'm going to highlight the darkness around there a little bit more. So let's bring that down and then go around that, and then here, and then we can go down even more while I'm heading towards the most darkest value, which is here, yeah, and then let's keep going down. The density we can increase. I got a good reasonable size on the, so again, use whatever you think will work and use your creativity to make sure it's actually what you put down is actually going down as you want it. So again, you see, taking the, now I'm coming really down to the dark tones, and this outline I was telling you about, I will now, yeah. So now notice that this is an interesting image draw because it uses line art as well. So again, oops, not so much an apple because it more looks like a plum, but that's fine. I didn't get the initial shape as I would have liked to have. So here, so notice the scribbling gives it a little bit of texture to that. So you've probably seen it in drawings that they use this, and we could use it to good effect. Why not, right? So again, so here, so we have here, so let's go down here. So you might hear some background noise. That's the lockdown. That's the result of working from home. So here, okay, here, see, building it up. As you can see, I'm doing it very quickly. I guess I would prefer you take your time over this, but you can see that. Let me just put a little bit more of that because it looks a little bit too much pronounced. So again, you can see that because I have the density up so much, you can see. Okay. All right, so there we have it. I hope you had a fun time drawing this apple, and hopefully I'll see you again. Thank you.